Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be discussing Thomas Jane's character in The Mist. So let's talk about David Drayton. He was just a normal guy working on his job as a painter. But then things go horribly wrong. The mist starts engulfing the town. Everyone was trapped in the supermarket with no escape, and death was just beyond their reach. And just like that, one by one, all the humans looking directly at him died. His eyes go blank, his mouth goes wide open, his heart stops beating, and everything started to fall in place. But what am I about to tell you is something far more darker than you might think. David Drayton didn't win against the Mist, he lost. How did it happen? Well, one thing. The mist is not just a strange phenomenon that can take any kind of physical or emotional form. It used something against humanity in the worst way possible, manipulating hope and fate. And guess what? The mist didn't target most of the people in the supermarket. They only targeted one specific person, David. So let me explain how did the mist manipulated David. Well, it forced him to believe that surviving was the only way to escape the mist. But wrong. The mist decided to use that as a weakness against him. And later, when the mist finally ends, it had only one thing to say: you lost, man. It's over. I win and you lost. And that could mean one thing: David didn't win, he lost. He lost his faith, he lost his own life. And guess what? The mist, it won. Not by choice, but it used only one thing: it manipulated fate against him and everyone around him. And guess what? He finally breaks everything in place. So there was only one question everyone's minds has been asking. Why did the mist only manipulated David but not everyone else? Well, it's simple. Because of those guys in the grocery, they believed in fate because they decided to stay behind and wait. But for David, he decided to test it. And the mist, well, it started targeting him more and more. By the time David realizes that it was over, it wasn't about him. The mist won against him, using manipulation as hope. And that hope becomes manipulation, regret, and a threat that David has succumbed to the worst. By the time David realizes the mist has run away, it didn't just fade. It took something away from him. It took away everyone. Not just him, everyone. Think about that. What did the mist actually do to do something like this? Well, it's simple. Manipulation as hope. You lose, it wins. And guess what? That win goes to the mist, not David. But when David realizes that the mist had faded right after everyone was rescued by the military, he lost everything. Think about that. What would happen if you were like him? Well, it's simple. You would lose the same way that he was already experiencing. David wasn't watching people die, he was watching everyone getting used as a bait. And guess what? The mist uses people as bait to track his senses, to track his bravery. And guess what? That bravery soon hit him in the face. And guess what? He already lost. So that means one thing: David didn't actually lose. He actually lost because he was being manipulated. The mist wasn't just fear, it was the devil. It was the devil that wanted him to be scared. It wants him to lose. It wants him to give up already. And that's what exactly happened. He lost to the mist because he believes that escaping was the only way to survive. But guess what? He was wrong. The mist tricked him. What David realizes, it wasn't just fear, it was just fate being manipulated by something that you just can't see. It was actually just trying to trick you into believing what is right and what is wrong. And sometimes being wrong about something you fear is far worse than suffering death. And that suffering was David. The mist didn't just trick him, it cheated. By not using real cheats, it just used manipulation, control, and mindscaping. The mist doesn't just make people get scared. It was only trying to scare one victim, and its only victim was David. Think about that. If David was trying to be right about something, then that means one thing. Those people who died in the supermarket when during the mist events, 2 nights that day, David realizes something. He wasn't just holding people together, they were being used as bait for the mist, because when a predator uses a dead body as bait to track its prey, it becomes the target, it becomes manipulated, it gets tricked. And guess what? The mist is the predator, the people are the bait, and the victim is David himself, not everyone else. They were the bait. And guess what? When David finally gets targeted, the mist sets out its plans against him. And guess what? It won, not by just cheating, using bait and manipulation as hope. That's something far worse than death. So by the time the movie ended, David realizes that he already lost. His mind was telling him, you lost everything. You could have just learned how manipulation works. And guess what? When that word was said in his head, it finally realizes something. It tells him that you can't always win. Just because someone manipulates you, it can make you feel like you are trying to win, but instead, you break down, losing. And guess what? The mist didn't just target him, it tricked him, it played him, it used its manipulation and cruelty against him. It wasn't just psychological terror, it was David being victimized by some kind of fear that already took apart humanity. And guess what? When hope finally gets erased, he realizes something. The mist was playing hope as a tool, use it against him, and then break him. And by the time when the movie ends, he realizes something. He lost. Not just because he was being manipulated, he was tricked, being used. And guess what? All of that makes proper sense. The mist doesn't just take people. It doesn't just become fear. It becomes a manipulation of the psychological mindset that makes you think that you would win. But instead, when reality snaps back, it just means something else. You lost. The mist doesn't just become fear, it becomes something far worse. It becomes the mind of manipulation. It's not just a sadistic villain. It's not just fear. It becomes the villain that has a trick about its sleeve. And guess what? Using that trick of manipulation as hope against David was far worse. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure you guys comment down below, subscribe, and suggest another new video that I could come up with. I'll see you all next time. Bye!